Okay, bud. Welcome to Grue, and thanks so much for taking time out of your day and coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and I'm grateful to be on the show.
Oh, thank you, man. I apologize that I have to do it over my phone. Like, I don't know how the quality, like the video and sound is, but my laptop ran out of space and I need to order a tera drive to download my interviews to that. So
It's
I
all
have to
good,
do it
no
over
worries. It's perfect on my end. So
Okay, thank you. Well, the first thing I want to do is ask how you say your name.
for sure, for sure. Nazariy Demkowicz.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have gotten
All
that.
good. Yeah, all good. My first name rhymes with safari, if that's easier.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, yeah, definitely. So like the first I wanted to say, like I see you've been doing this for a while now. Like I read that you got your very first role at the young age of 6 years old, right?
Yeah. It's been kind of mostly a part of my life since the beginning of my life, so to speak. Yeah, so my first role was Capote, and I played the part of Paul Dewey, son of lead detective, played by Chris Cooper. Yeah,
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah.
So, so like, how did you know you wanted to? I mean, at the age of six, like you really you're figuring out like what toy to play with or what animation show to watch, and like, how
Yeah.
did you know you wanted to become an actor at 6 years old?
So it's funny because I guess it sort of happened by accident. My parents were putting in me into a whole bunch of stuff as a kid, as parents usually do, right? Like swimming, violin, this and that,
Yeah.
and Taekwondo was one of them.
Oh
And
wow.
one of them was actually theater at the Manitoba Theater for Young People at the Forks here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And so I guess I was just going there, doing regular 6-year-old theater things, which is mostly like playing games and doing a scene or two here and there. And one evening, my mom got a call saying that a gentleman wanted me for a part in a film. And she thought it was something to do with the theater, if it was like a theater show or like an audition or something like that. And apparently, they just liked me based on my look because I fit the rest of the family, so to speak,
Ah,
based on looks, as it sometimes is in film. And yeah, the rest is history. My first role was Capote, and I had my own trailer and all that kind of
oh
stuff.
my
And being a
God.
6 year old on set, yeah,
A,
having
a 6 year old with his own trailer.
yeah, right, right. And being 6 years old with next to no idea of what's going on or what to do, it was still nonetheless exhilarating and exciting to see like everyone running around and this whole project being put together.
Wow, that must have been such a great experience at such a young age. Like that's awesome.
It was. I still have like photos. I have a photo album, and I still have photos from like from that set, and just like looking back through them every once in a while. It's yeah, it's a nice little core memory, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. And you also did something you did a film Siberia. Like how was like being on set with one of the greats, Mr. Reeves, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, it was awesome. Honestly, I when I got the call that I booked the part, it was kind of like a speechless moment, but at the same time where you're speechless but you're screaming type thing, if that makes sense. It was wild, honestly. Like I was nervous leading up to the moment of meeting him for the first time and all that kind of stuff, but honestly, he is so kind, he's so genuine, and he's so down to earth and humble that it made me feel as if I've known him for years prior to that, and we've been friends for like a long time. And I was sitting in the hair and makeup trailer, and I heard these big footsteps coming down the trailer, and I had an idea as to who it was. And flops down right next to me is Mr. Keanu Reeves, and
Oh my God.
yeah, that was awesome to be able to say this and say that we've done scenes together and all that kind of stuff. It's wild. Yeah.
That that really is like just to be on the same set as him, let alone doing scenes with him. I mean, Bill and Ted, Matrix, and 47 Ronin. Like, oh my god, like I could go on and on about his stuff.
Such good one. Yeah. I mean, it was awesome to like, just hang out in the morning warming tent as they're setting up the cameras because it was a little chilly at that point, and just everything they say about him is true. Like, he took time off from his day, whether it was lunch or something, to meet people who were standing next to set waiting to greet him, just like the general community of the town that we were shooting in. And he greeted each person, shook their hand, and took a picture with whoever wanted. It was just,
Really?
it was awesome. Yeah, he's a truly a kind individual.
Yeah, because usually when you're on set, like, and there's like a big name person like him on set, like they're usually standoffish because they know that everyone wants to meet them, greet them, take photos, so they kind of stay away and stay to themselves. But that's awesome to hear. He's actually he actually takes time out with people.
Yeah, he definitely created some wonderful memories for many people. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. And you're also part of something. You won best actor for Channel Zero, Ben.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, Channel Zero, that was a fun project for sure. It's a I'm not sure if you know of it, but it's a horror anthology
Oh
series.
yeah, of course I know. I
Okay,
love
sweet. Nice, nice. So for those who don't know, it's like every season's different, so you don't have to watch it in order or anything like that. And it's kind of a horror series, which I would say gets into your head more than like jump scares and all that kind of stuff.
definitely.
But yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome to open up the third season, Butcher's Block, and it was fun shooting at like 4 or 5 in the morning with
Whoa.
literal fog. Yeah, literal fog rolling in through the
Oh
forest. It
my
was just
God.
perfect. Yeah, it was perfect. It was a blast. Nick Antosca, the showrunner, was super welcoming. Arkasha Stevenson, the director, she was awesome in helping me get to where I needed to be in directing the show. It was yeah, it was a blast.
Yeah, and like, how did it feel winning an award for playing Ben?
Honestly, just being nominated is exciting, right? Like being nominated and having the privilege of going to an awards show and having that experience and walking onto stage is kind of like you're lucid dreaming, so to speak.
Right? Yeah,
It was
exactly.
it was awesome. Like, yeah, the awards shows themselves are really cool in kind of uplifting young actors and helping them feel welcome, feel accomplished for what they've done, because it's not an easy feat by any means.
Oh, of course.
And it was, yeah, it was super fun. I'm really honored to have won and to have been nominated for sure.
Nice. If you hear my dog barking in the background, I apologize.
All good, all good. I love pets. I have a bird myself, so if he starts chirping away, same
Oh, no.
thing.
Do you have a parrot or?
No, a budgie, just a small
Oh,
budgie.
nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Sweet,
yeah.
sweet. And you also wrote and directed like your own film, a short film.
Yeah.
And how like is that something you would like doing more, like writing and making films?
So the first time that I encountered that was actually in university through film studies.
Okay.
So I have, one of my degrees is in film studies, and the other is a Bachelor of Science degree. But anyways,
Wow.
throughout the film studies program, we had the chance to do our own little student film projects. And by do our own projects, I mean the whole thing from thinking of an idea to writing to directing to editing to even sometimes being a part of it, like on the camera side of things. So it was a lot of work, and that was the first time I've experienced the behind the camera, behind the scenes part of it. And so, speaking to your question, it's a different world being behind the camera. But to be honest, it's a fun type of world in its own sense.
Yeah.
It's difficult because if you're like for the student project, we were doing bits and pieces of everything, right? We were directing, editing, writing, everything. You don't always have the chance to do that. Usually you're, I guess, just the director or just the editor or just the writer.
True.
So I don't really know which category I would want to fit into because they're all so unique and so fun. But I don't know. Hopefully, maybe one day I'll have the chance to do a little bit more behind the scenes kind of stuff. That would be fun.
It's nice.
Yeah.
And you're pretty big right in the world of horror, and that's awesome because, like I said, I love horror. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and so let's talk about one of the films before I get to the other. Like you did a film for Shutter, and it's called the Elevator Games.
Yeah.
And so, how was it like filming that? Like, how did you wind up getting to be part of this horror film?
Yeah. So I guess Halloween kind of passed, unfortunately, but if you're a horror fan, if you're a Halloween fan, Halloween just kind of keeps going in its own way, right?
Yeah,
For sure. So the elevator game, yeah, that was a super fun project again. So just like any other thing, went in to do the audition, thankfully got a call back, and then after that, it took a while to get the project rolling. We had a couple meetings with directors over Zoom, just kind of like talking about the script, talking about the character. There was a script change versus from when we did the audition to when we actually filmed it.
Oh, really?
So that was interesting, yeah. So that was interesting, kind of seeing my character in one way, but then having him be flipped, so to speak, and actually filming him in a different way. And so yeah, throughout that whole process of like from the audition to actually doing the first table read, it was pretty long, but it was super exciting because I just wanted to get it going. I just wanted to start, and it was super fun when it actually did. There's tons of stories. So if you have a specific moment in the film that you'd like to talk about, I'm all for it. But in general, it was super fun working with a lot of local cast that I see around because most of the cast is actually local Winnipeg actors, which is awesome. And we always see each other in the audition room, in passing, all that kind of stuff, right? And to actually work with them was super fun. Yeah, spend like a month and a half on set, just playing around, messing around with horror, screaming, and literally running around. It was a blast. Yeah.
So for anyone who don't know what this horror film is, it's basically a girl that went missing on an elevator in a building, and now she's haunting the elevator that she went missing on.
Yeah.
And you guys are a bunch of influencers, YouTubers and stuff, and you want to film in the building where the girl went missing and do certain horror games on the elevator. Like, I don't want to give too much away, of course, if anyone hasn't seen it. And so like how was it like playing like one of those people, like a YouTuber in influencer type person?
It was interesting because when I knew that we were going to be YouTubers, I was curious as to like, oh, how are they going to do this? Are they going to do the classic like thing that you see on YouTube where it's like POV or like that kind of thing, or are they going to add like silly graphics on the screen, all that fun YouTube stuff. And I've never really delved into YouTube myself. So this was fun because I was playing someone different, right? Someone who I'm not usually in, like filming stuff. Again, back to the university thing. That's the only time where I film stuff. And this, you're kind of doing both. You're both on camera, but you're also filming behind the scenes stuff. So that was a really cool experience. And so the cameras that we were using as actors in the film, they actually used footage from those cameras, and we were actually filming stuff for the film. So we were doing two jobs at once.
Oh my
So
God, that's awesome.
yeah, yeah, it was super fun, and like to actually be on set, like in the elevator, and to try and think, okay, what shot would they want to use in the actual film when it comes out? It was fun to kind of like direct yourself a little bit.
Mhm. So, so like how was like filming like because like basically most of the film is shot in elevators and
Yeah.
so how was it like to film in such like a small space?
So spoiler alert, or like insider tip or something like that. The elevator was actually a built set. It wasn't
Oh,
actually filming.
okay, okay, I
Yeah.
was wondering.
So the walls could be removed, and it was kind of like oversized, so to speak. So there's room for a camera and all that kind of.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. Movie magic, right? But I will say that as we were filming on the elevator, there were moments in the beginning where it's kind of an illusion. Like it felt like the elevator would actually, or like not the elevator, but the floor would actually move a little bit. And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
wait, is like the floor also a built set and it's moving? And they're like, no, no, it's just the floor. And we're like, okay.
well, it there might have been a real ghost on set that made the floor move.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? I mean, we were filming in like a kind of like a city storage building, I guess, or whatever for most of the sets, and it was mm,
He's like, and like the person who played the girl, the ghost, like she was kind of scary. And the scene that was freaky is the whole on your fours walking backwards exorcist type girl.
yeah, she was awesome. Honestly, she was awesome in doing all of these things, and she's actually a contortionist herself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's how she could move and do all these things, right? Because like, how else would you be able to do that?
I
Uh,
know, right?
Yeah, I mean, I stretch every day, but I still can't stretch that much. Yeah, Samantha, she was incredible as the fifth floor woman, and it was interesting to kind of like sit and eat lunch with her, and she would be wearing the makeup and be in that whole, you know, wardrobe or attire or prosthetics of the fifth floor woman. And to kind of just like eat there and just look over to my side and see something like that, it was pretty funny. But uh, she was awesome. She's a really cool entertainer, Samantha Hallis, and yeah, she's flexible, sort
Yeah,
of. Yeah,
definitely. Like you could see it in the film. Like
yeah,
she moved her body in ways that I couldn't even. I if I tried that, I probably would be in that spot for hours.
yeah. No kidding. And that ups the creepy factor, right?
Does she train you how to do certain like stretches and like did you want to learn how to do that or
It,
were you good not knowing how to do that?
so I mean, it would be fun, but I think I'm a little bit past the point of being able to do that. You need to be very flexible to
Yeah,
do
exactly.
something like that. One cool thing that I did learn on set, Rebecca McKendry, the director, there was a part in the film, I guess a little spoiler alert, where I'm screaming my lungs out. I won't tell you why,
Yeah, yeah.
but she was awesome in directing us and helping us get to where we were, and especially that scene. It was super emotional, and we were kind of like usually cast members between takes were like we're chatting, we're having fun, we're hanging out, right? But during this particular thing, we were kind of to ourselves in our little corner, not talking to each other because we wanted to be in the moment. And she was awesome in approaching us in a way that was comforting with direction during the scene, so as to not take us out of the scene. And one thing about the screaming is that I didn't know there's a real, not a real way, but like a better way to scream so that you don't actually damage your vocal cords.
Oh, I
It's
never
like
knew.
it's kind of like screaming from your belly versus
Really?
screaming from your vocal cords, from your throat.
Okay.
It's sort of I'm not a professional by any means, not a professional screamer, but yeah, it's interesting. Like that's something new that I learned, and you're always learning on set, off
Yeah.
set, whatever it be. So yeah, so that was really interesting to learn how to properly scream.
Yeah, like I always wondered that, like the in horror films, like the people that have to scream, and I mean, it's not just one take. Like you have to shoot this take over and over and over until it's perfect. And I would think that they would lose their voice by like the fifth take, and so there's like a way of doing that.
Exactly. So what was funny was when we were doing ADR afterwards, I was in the studio and I was going through a lot of these scenes that were like
Mhm.
really physical and emotional because the sound that was picked up on set was just not no good. And so I was in this little I don't know how to show it, like little area of the studio which you can't stretch your arms out by any means. And I'm like kind of trying to do mini jumping jacks and push-ups so I can get my energy level up,
Yeah.
which was super fun. But speaking to the screaming thing, we were doing a whole bunch of takes with the screams to get a lot of the screams. And at one point, I was asked, "Hey, can you think you can do one more?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I can do one more." It did not turn out well. That very last one, my voice was just out of it. It was just not working. But yeah,
Oh no.
that's exactly it, right? It's the proper way to scream to so that you're able to scream as much as possible.
Well, yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, one of the like the biggest like scream queens is Jamie Lee Curtis. So like she probably knew how to do that too. Because every time they cast her in a horror movie, she's screaming on the top of her lungs.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
So what did you like doing between takes when it wasn't your scene or your time?
So ever since I was little, whenever I'm on set, between takes, of course, there are times where you kind of want to sit down, you want to take a breather, or you want to
Yeah,
grab a bite to eat or something like that. But most of the time, I enjoy watching the setup of the set.
yeah,
If space permits and stuff like that, sometimes you're kicked out because you're in the way. But I really love watching them set up the camera, set up the lights, and watch everything just go on, right? Because it's, I don't know, for me at least, it's being on set is kind of like a happy place, but it's
yeah,
also just so interesting because it's like, oh, okay, so this individual chose this lens. I wonder why. This individual put the camera here. Okay, that's what they're doing. But also, like as an actor, it helps you because before just jumping into the scene, maybe even without a rehearsal, you have the chance to like see what camera angles they're shooting, what they're doing, what they want you to do, right? And with the stand-ins, they're super helpful. They're, during the setup, they're directing the stand-ins, so you have the privilege of watching them go through the scene, so that you can just jump right into it and use as much time as possible,
nice, nice.
or not use as much time as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely know what you mean. So after filming this, like, are you scared to go on an elevator now, or do you look at elevators the same way?
Not really. I'm not really scared, to be honest. But during filming, throughout the filming process, whenever I'd go onto an elevator, I'd be like, "Ooh."
Yeah, yeah,
It's
right,
like
exactly.
take a second, take a moment. So like throughout the filming process and shortly after, it was kind of like, should I do this or should I not?
Is there gonna be a creepy girl in this elevator?
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, I mean, if you want to have a go at it and play the elevator game, good luck to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I don't think that people want to see this creepy girl on all fours charging at you backwards. Ugh, that's
yeah,
so creepy. Like I remember watching the Exorcist when Lynn Linda Blair is going down the steps backwards, and this girl gave that vibe from The
yeah,
Exorcist when she's like walking backwards, and that always gets me because your body's not supposed to go that way.
yeah, yeah, exactly, right? But on the flip side, you have the chance of visiting an alternate dimension.
That's true. That's
Pros and
true.
cons, pros and cons.
Yes. And another horror film that I absolutely loved. I watched it during Halloween month. I think I watched it the night before Halloween.
Nice.
Is Dark Dark Harvest. That movie was so well done. Like the creepiness of it,
Yeah.
and the cornfields, and the whole
The
dark.
cinematography, the
Yes.
lighting and everything, I
Oh
loved
my
it too.
God! Like
Yeah.
that movie was perfect.
Yeah. It was awesome. And I miss everyone that was a part of it because most of the cast you see on the flip side weren't from here. Well, I guess
Oh,
they were, but it was kind of like split. But anyway, the whole journey of filming it, I had a small but sweet role in it, but I had the privilege of spending a lot of time with the cast, and we just became such close friends. And to see what they're doing nowadays, and to hopefully one day reunite, it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, it was a super cool environment.
oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely for sure. Like I love the soul tooth Jack, like that monster creature,
yeah,
the thing on his head,
yeah,
pump, the pumpkin, and all that stuff. And oh my God, it was so creepy, wasn't it? Like
yeah.
Jack, like he was such a creepy presence.
Yeah, I mean, uh, again, seeing something like that for the first time, like you kind of envision it in your head as you're reading through the script, or you're like, oh, what are they going to do with this? How are they going to make it look? And actually seeing it on set, there's a good couple moments where you're just like you're staring and you just can't say anything because it's so good. And it had like for the flame effects, they had like a halo of lights around for visual effects and post and stuff, and it was just super interesting to see them work with uh I guess costume, for lack of a better term, costume
Yeah,
prosthetics for a look like that, and see how they actually develop it and change it throughout its different stages of rotting, so to speak. Um, but yeah, the costume was awesome, and the person inside the costume, Dustin Syfy, he was just incredible too. His height really helped with the character,
oh,
obviously.
so he was really that tall.
Yes, yes, he's a really
Oh,
tall individual. Yeah, he's a really tall individual, but he's the kindest guy you'll ever meet. Like such a friendo, and he's just super fun. Like like he'd be in the costume, but he'd be dancing. Like if you imagine Sawtooth Jack just having a dance. Yeah, it
that's
was awesome. Yeah, the
that's
whole
definitely a sight to see.
yeah, yeah, right. Maybe there'll be a Christmas edition of Dark Harvest, a musical. We were we were joking about that actually on set. Now that I think of it, Sawtooth Jack musical.
Oh my God, I could actually picture that. Like that would be one of the creepiest Christmas things that
Yeah,
you could see.
put a little Santa hat on him.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Because this definitely was like a perfect Halloween film. Like I mean, the atmosphere is set around Halloween, and like the whole thing of the movie is like all the boys, the teens, they have to beat Jack in order to save the town, and no pressure or anything, right?
Yeah, yeah, no pressure. You're just starved for a good 3 days, locked in your bedroom, and then released into the wild.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, where was this like little town film? That was this like props too, or was it like in an actual town and cornfields and all that stuff?
Winnipeg. So I say that with like so bits and pieces were in and throughout Winnipeg.
Okay.
There was like a block that they built with facades and stuff.
Oh,
So I
okay.
think that was like the theater, if you remember the theater area
Yeah.
and that little bit of the city. So that was all facades, which was spectacular to see. Just in the middle of our downtown city, just like these facades come up and knowing that you're a part of that project, that was just incredible. And then cornfields were actually shot in cornfields. We have out in Manitoba, we actually have a corn maze that you can go to, and
Really?
each year they change it. Yeah, so it's a blast. So it was actually filmed in cornfields, and there were obviously also sets built like in studio here. So yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Okay, so
and
it was like
oh
a little mix.
yeah, little mix, bits and pieces of everything, and I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but the bunker, the bunker
Yeah.
was actually like half dug out, like actually on the corner of that street, which I was like, no way you actually dug out a bunker and
Oh
placed
my
this thing on top. Yeah, it was incredible. And then most of it for like shooting and camera stuff, the insides and stuff, that was on set, obviously, or like in studio.
God.
Um, but it was awesome to be like, ooh, this is mine. Like to have your own bunker. It
Yeah,
was it was
definitely.
wild. Yeah.
See, I love horror films like that are like shot for Halloween. Like it's like a Halloween film, and just like how dark it is. And I love cornfields in horror films because it's so creepy. I mean,
Yeah.
the children of the corn and all that stuff. Like having a cornfield in a horror film, I always think makes it even more creepier.
There's a natural spooky factor to corn for some reason, right? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it
Maybe
was
it,
fun.
maybe sorry, maybe going through like a
No, no.
cornfield, you'll feel like you're getting stalked. Not to make a corny joke, but
Yeah, there's something creepy about corn. Like
yeah,
I don't know what it is. Like corn taste is great, but there's something creepy about it.
yeah. I don't know. Interesting. Maybe there's a marketing thing in there somewhere.
I know, right? Exactly. Because there's like another horror film that's out. It just came out. Thanks, Thanksgiving. It's called,
Yeah,
and I interview one of the girls from the film where she gets killed by corn.
yeah. I actually saw that last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that was the girl I interviewed, the one
very
that
cool.
gets the corn through her head.
Yeah, yeah. It was awesome. It was a lot more gory than
Yeah.
than I expected. But then the first couple of scenes leading into it, I was like, okay, so this is how it's gonna go.
hmm
Interesting. I liked
But
it.
look at who made the film, and that like you have to go in there expecting a lot of gore.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. They used
I
up a lot
mean,
of cranberry sauce.
I don't think I ever seen one of his films where there wasn't a lot of gore and guts and
Yeah.
blood.
I mean, everyone has their own style, right? Every like style or thing that they admire or like.
Yeah.
So to each their own, right?
I'm actually going to go see that soon too. Like
Oh,
I
nice.
probably in another few hours, I'm actually going to go see the movie Thanksgiving, and like
Nice.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Very cool. I hope you enjoy it. Like enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And with Dark Harvest, the elevator horror film that you did, like what do you love? And even the series you did, Channel Zero, like what do you love most about film and horror?
So heart and comedy and drama and romance and all of these genres, they're all so unique in them within themselves.
Yeah,
And I didn't really pay attention to horror at first, but once I got into it, it's so unique in the sense that, okay, when you watch it, you see all these things, you see the blood, you see the gore, you see all these effects, right? And usually you think nothing of it. But when you're on set and you see all these things being developed and put together, and you see an explosion of blood come out of the ground, or you see, someone's limbs come off, or like, sorry for the like gory details here, but when you see all these things and how they actually do it, it makes you appreciate the art form in general. And what I mean
yeah,
by that is like the amount of work that it takes to make these prosthetics or to make it look realistic, because the camera sees like 100 times more than the eye sees. And you have to make sure that it looks good, that it looks real, so that when it's pumped up, 1,000 times closer on a big giant theater screen, that it looks realistic. And so I think that's what I really like about it is the amount of work it takes and the amount of art it takes to actually make it look real, believable, and make people either sick to their stomach or shy away and close their eyes.
Right, exactly, yes. And I always ask guests when I have them on because, as you know, I love horror. Are there any horror films that you love watching?
So right now I'm kind of exploring, and what I mean that by that is like exploring different types of horror. So like
Hmm.
one that might be more gory or one that might be more jump scary and that
Yeah,
kind of stuff. So right
yeah.
now I don't really have a favorite type of horror. Um, I I like the ones that get into your head, but I don't like them at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. Yes.
Um, but yeah, like the Exorcist films, the Thanksgiving film, Five
Mhm.
Nights at Freddy's, also saw that.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that was
kind of,
good.
yeah, it was a good one. It was a fun one. It was a fun
Yeah,
one. It's like, ah, these are kind of cute, but then
yeah.
they're not.
We're not. Yeah, at first
Yeah,
you think we're cute.
yeah, no kidding. Um, but yeah, like there's so many different ways you can take horror, just like any other genre, right? You can take it down the gory line or down the funny, cute, haha, tricked you.
True, true.
So I'm kind of exploring right now.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I mean, you got all kinds of horror. You even got horror that kids could watch, like
yeah,
Halloween Town. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I
That
did. I did.
that's like
Yeah, it's a
a kid
classic.
horror film.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of yeah, it's an art form. It's an art form.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Halloween Town is such a good one. Oh man,
it
I just
is.
whenever I think of it, I automatically think to the skeleton making jokes. That's the first thing that pops into my head from Halloween Town. Okay.
That's true. Yeah. And, so, what do you like doing during your free time when you're not acting or making films?
So my happy place is always on set, but when I'm not on set,
Yeah.
I like learning new things. I like learning new things, trying new things, just going out, having fun. Watching movies and TV shows probably takes up a good chunk of it.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then the other chunk is probably just going outside, just breathing fresh air and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Um, I used to be like in the student life type of thing, but that's
Yeah,
kind of in the past now. So I can't really say reading textbooks anymore. But nonetheless, even though that chapter is past, I still love learning. Love learning, whether it's opening up Duolingo every once in a while just to pick up a new word or something. It takes
yeah.
time. It takes time and all that kind of stuff. I'm also part of a folk ensemble for violin.
Oh, wow,
Enjoy
nice.
performing with them, going out onto stage or performances or shows and that kind of stuff, and just playing away. So yeah, that I used to do ballroom dancing as well prior to COVID. COVID kind of slowed it down and then kind of put it on the side burner, so to speak. So yeah, like I said, I love doing lots of things. It's so tough to pick just one because I do so many.
Wow, you definitely do like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit, bits and pieces.
You
It keeps
even
life interesting and busy, I guess.
like you even know how to dance and I'm sure you know how to sing if you know how to dance, right?
I used to be part of choir. Yeah, I used to be part of men's choir in high school and then choir as well. So yeah, nowadays it's more of like singing in the car on the way to a place or something, or as everyone does, singing in the shower, so to speak. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, you know, some people come up with some really good songs when they take a shower. Like
yeah,
it's something
yeah.
about a shower where you just want to just start screaming and singing. But in my case, I make sure no one's home because they'll probably be mad if they hear me singing in the shower because
Oh
my
no,
voice
I'm I'm sure they would be fine with it. I mean, the following water kind of drowns everyone out anyway, right? So maybe that's why it's the soothing water.
Yes, yeah, yeah. There really is. There's something about like as soon as you go into the shower, you just want to sing. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. And then hopefully no one comes out behind the curtain with a knife. Always horror everywhere.
I know, right? Exactly. And, you mentioned when we first started doing the interview, like you said the martial arts, was that something you did too?
Yeah, so at the age of 5 or 6-ish, when I started kind of everything like swimming lessons, and all this kind of stuff, I also did Taekwondo.
Wow.
And by the time I got to the age of 10, I had 3 gold medals and a black belt. Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
it was a huge part of my life too. I went to competitions and all that kind of stuff. And then just naturally the dojo moved further away, like to the opposite end of
Mhm.
the city. And naturally it kind of just slowed down and went away. But I
Wow.
still keep up with my stretches daily.
Hey, I'm sure someone said you're gonna be booked in a series or film that has to do with martial arts. Like you'll pick it up again like really fast.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe one day, right?
Exactly. Yes. Uh, are you a video game guy at all? Like, do you play games?
I used to be. So I still have the original Xbox. So that should say a little
Yes.
something as to like how much I play or used to play. So yeah, I was really into video games as most kids are, always wanted that. And then it kind of switched over to PC gaming a little bit, but then school and university took over and that kind of went away, unfortunately.
Gotcha.
But I do remember being on set when I was little and the Game Boy just came out. And like the Game Boy Advanced, the little
Yeah.
square one, not the yellow ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember that just came out, and like every once in a while, a new kid on set would have it. I'm just like, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that.
Mhm.
So I was really into that. Like I would carry it around with me everywhere. Just the Game Boy with its little case and the little games,
Yeah.
and I would just take it and I would play it all the time. Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome. I love
yeah,
that.
it's fun. I mean, it's life, right? You got to stay entertained.
Oh yeah, of course, of
Yeah,
course. Video games is like a good way to kill time and stay entertained. And if you don't have anything to do for the day and
sure.
you're bored out of your mind and you want to do something, just throw on a video game.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Exactly. A video game, TV show, movie, anything, or just some music and cook.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So you cook too then?
Well, so my other degree, so I finished university with a Bachelor of Science in Human Nutritional Sciences. So that's one of my degrees, and the other one is in film studies. And so within or like throughout the throughout the nutrition degree rather, there were courses where we would actually go into lab and we would cook different meals, we would preserve different foods, we'd go through all like that whole process and all that kind of stuff. And I try and help out in the kitchen whenever I can. And who doesn't like to eat? I mean,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, you got to. Maybe I don't know. Last year we made Christmas cookies, so maybe this year we'll make
Oh,
Christmas cookies
nice.
again. Yeah, yeah, just a little bit, not like a master chef by any means.
Well, is there a special dish that you could cook good, like a dish that someone would ask you to cook?
Oh, I don't know if someone would ask me to cook, but but I do like a good chicken stir fry. Chicken stir fry,
Ooh, that
yeah.
sounds so good.
For
Okay.
breakfast, the most important meal of the day,
Of
a good
course.
scrambled eggs or sunny side up with toast or a BLT. You're making
Mm.
me hungry now.
No, right, exactly. I was just gonna say that, yeah.
That's funny.
And are you more of a coffee or tea guy?
Right now, more of a tea guy. I kind of had periods where I switched back and forth, but right now I'm mostly tea. I used to have a period where I was really coffee, like trying different types, like in the coffee machine, like those little pods, like
Yes.
chocolate coffee, caramel coffee. I was used to try all those, but now usually it's just like when I really need to wake up and I can't, then it's coffee. But of course, during the holiday season, it's cocoa.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, for me, like I can't start my day without having a cup of
yeah.
coffee first. But then, like after I drink the one cup of coffee, then I'll drink tea, and so but I have to have the coffee before I have the
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, 100%. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Um,
tea.
yeah.
And I don't want to keep you any longer. I'm sure you got stuff to do.
By any means, all the time in the world. I'm enjoying this, and I really appreciate it. So it's a fun chat.
I know. This is great. I love it.
Yeah.
So, do you have like I don't know if you watch this or not, but do you have like a special superhero and villain that you like the most?
Ooh, I when I was little, I was really into. I think it was Spider-Man, but then that quickly changed to Iron Man, just
Yes.
because of the gadgets and the technology and the suits. For some reason, I was like, I'm really interested in technology and all that kind of stuff. So that really piqued my interest with like the suits and the, oh, these ones can fly by themselves, that kind of thing. Um, Villains, I don't really have a particular villain that interests me. However, the villain origin stories tend to be
Yes.
more interesting than we let them be, if that makes sense, right? Venom was a fun one. I don't know if he's
That was
considered.
really good. I like
I guess
that.
he's kind of a villain, but kind of also just like a normal
It's like
day-to-day guy.
it's like both.
Yeah, yeah. But Venom was a really good one. I like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
definitely,
the
definitely.
the whole like the Venom crawling into you and like taking over you and that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was a fun one, and just the comedy throughout too. It's like, what? Oh my God.
I know exactly.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun. Yeah.
And what about like apps? Do you have like a special like do you have an app that you go on the most like Instagram or
Okay.
TikTok or something like
Um, it would probably be Instagram.
that? Okay.
Probably Instagram. I don't know. Just naturally, I guess maybe it's a generational thing. Like which generation? Like I also have Facebook. I have a Facebook page. And then now X, I guess. Twitter
Yeah,
X. Yeah.
that just sounds weird. Like
Twi-
X
yeah.
Twitter changing to X like it makes it sound like it's a porno site now or something. Like,
It doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely.
no,
I mean, but whatever, right? That's life, say Livy. Like
yeah,
there's an arena in our town in Winnipeg that's been renamed like four times at this point, and I still call it by the original name. I'm not gonna call it anything else. I'm just used to it.
I
But
know exactly.
but yeah,
Did you ever get on like Threads yet or like
no,
I tried that and I'm like,
not yet. Throughout like when COVID started and the whole lockdowns and all that kind of stuff, I was on TikTok. I mean, I
yeah.
guess I still am. Um, Not so much as I used to be. It
Hmm.
was fun, like trying out different videos, like letting the creativity of like filmmaking, as we were talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
earlier, kind of come out and like do this kind of stuff. And for whatever reason, it just naturally kind of like faded, faded away. But still on it, still on like all these social media platforms. Every once in a while, I open it, check it out, see what's new.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And is there anything coming up for you that you want to plug? Like, and anything else you're going to be in, or that you're allowed to talk about, or
So not as of yet. The project that I was a part of, Winner, is still, I guess, in post-production. So it's not no news on that front, but I guess something that I was a part of that's not out yet that will be. Again, short but sweet, small but sweet role, but still grateful, so grateful to be a part of it. And hey, if the Halloween season passed and you missed any of those shows, it's no biggie. You can still check them out. Elevator Game, Dark Harvest. They're a blast. They're fun, and yeah, just seeing where life takes me. I guess the next path is the holiday season. So
yes, we're in Christmas time now, and but they have plenty of Christmas horror films. So
yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. I can't remember the name of one, but one that I'm thinking of. Santa Claus is coming around. Like a little girl wishes for Santa to help her, and there are people breaking into their home. Oh, I can't remember the name of it.
oh,
But yeah, as you say, there are Christmas horror ones too,
oh
so
my
the horror
gosh,
never
so many,
stops.
man. There might be more Christmas horror movies than Halloween horror movies.
Is that saying something? I don't know.
And the last I'm going to ask you is where can fans follow you at?
So thank you so much for watching, first of all, and thank you, Mr. Cross, for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to stay in touch, I appreciate that as well on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You could just look up my name. Nazariy D is my username, and
Okay.
Facebook it's Nazariy Dem.
Sweet, buddy.
Yeah,
Well, thanks so much for coming on the show and doing this. Like it was really fun meeting you.
thank you. Likewise, it was a pleasure to meet you as well, and I look forward to next time, hopefully.
Oh, definitely.
Take
Yeah,
care.
yeah. You're more than welcome. Anytime you want to come on and talk about anything you have coming up, yeah, 100%.
Cool. I appreciate it. All the best to you.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
And